Today we're going to go over the I-90 application to replace your permanent green card. As the title says, we're going to use this form to replace your green card. This is a document that you can file online, or you can use the forms right here and fill out that form and follow the instructions to do this document. The filing fees for this document is $465 if you do it by paper. If you do it online, it's $415. Just like the majority of immigration paper, the top is going to be for USCIS use only. So we're going to start here. Part 1, we're going to put in the alien number and your USCIS online number if you have any. Here we're going to do your last name, then your given name, which is your first name, and your middle name if you have one. In this area is asking you to provide your name exactly as it's printed on your current permanent resident card. If you have any name changes, this is where you put it. Attach all evidence of your legal name change with this application. So if your name was changed, if you got married, or you decide to change your first name or your last name, this is where you put your new name right here. In this area, you put your mailing address. If you are a spouse or a minor, then you'll put in care of name. Here's where you put your mailing address. If someone is taking care of you, you'll put their name here. Then you put the streets, apartment, suite, or floor, the city, state, zip code, Providence if you're in a country that has Providence, postal zip code, and the country. Now, mailing address has to be United States. I don't know why they have the country on there, because they do not mail anywhere else. Your physical address can be different from your mailing address, which is fine. And your physical address can be an international address, but your mailing address must be a US-based address. In this area, you'll put your gender, your date of birth. You put the city or town that you were born in. You put the country that you're born in. And here, you put your mother's name. They only want the first name, not the first and last name. The first name they're not really looking to identify your parents, because it should be on some of the other forms that you did. So they only want the first name here for your mother, first name for your father. In the class of admission, this should be on your green card or your visa. It's going to be a 3-digit code. You'll put that there. Date of admission, that's the date that you actually came into the country, and your social security number if you have any. Right here, the application type, this is referring to what type of status that you have. You could be a lawful permanent resident. If you are, you'll click this, and then you'll jump to section A right here, which will tell you the reasons why, which will list the reasons why you need your card replaced. If you're a permanent resident in commute status, that means like you live in Mexico or you live in Canada and you just drive across the border every day to go to work, then this will be what you check, and you jump to section A. If you're a conditional permanent resident, this is for people who gain their residency through marriage or through entrepreneurship. They will jump to section B, which is going to be on the next page right here, section B. So let's say you're just doing it because you are a lawful resident. Now, just for a side note, conditional residents, they usually have a green card for about 2 years. If you're a conditional resident, you would have to file another form to remove the conditional residency so you get your permanent green card. So that's why they have to go to section B. Here in section A, you will just read through the reasons why you need your green card replaced. So let's go over a few. My previous card has been lost, stolen, or destroyed. My previous card was issued but never received. My existing card has been mutilated, and so on and so forth. So you will just read through all of these down to about here and check the one that best applies to you. Here you will put the port of entry that you came into the United States. So let's say you came in through Atlanta. That means you came in through the Hartfield Airport. You will put the city or town. So you put Atlanta and then Georgia right here. If you commute, then you'll just check commute. If you have been automatically converted to a lawful permanent resident, you will check right here. If you have a prior edition of the alien resident card, you will check right there. Part B, again for the conditional permanent residence, you will check any of the following, which is pretty similar, but you just have less options. Just like the lost and stolen, destroyed. It was issued, but you never received it. Existing card has been mutilated, so on and so forth. So you have fewer options right here. In part 3, you will put location where you applied for your immigration visa or status. So you apply maybe in the U.S. Embassy in your country, so you put U.S. Embassy, or U.S. Consulate in your country, then you'll put the location. So let's say you did it in Bogota, Colombia, it will be the U.S. Embassy, then you'll put Bogota, Colombia right here. If you entered the United States with an immigrant visa, you would need to fill out 3A and 3A1. If you enter the United States with an immigrant visa, you will need to fill out 3A and 3A1. This is destination in the United States at the time of admission and the port of entry right there. But if not, you will just jump to number 4. Have you ever been in exclusion, deportation, or removal proceedings in order to be removed from the United States? You check yes or no. Number 5 is asking if you've ever filed the form I-407, which means that you wanted to abandon your legal residencyship. That's what it's asking you right here. Biographic information. This is pretty simple stuff. You will select your ethnicity if you're Hispanic or non-Hispanic, your race, your height, your weight, your eye color, your hair color. This is pretty simple stuff. Here you'll put if you have any disabilities. It's asking you about disabilities in this area, accommodations for your disabilities. So are you requesting accommodations because of your disabilities or impairment? Yes or no. If you check yes, then it's going to ask you about some of your impairments. Like 1A is asking if you're deaf or have hard of hearing. And then in these lines below, you will write in what conditions that you will need, like someone to do sign language with you, American Sign Language. Over here, it's going to ask you if you're blind, and then what accommodations you will need. It will ask you if you have diabetes, then you put in what accommodations you will need. Here is the sworn statement that you need to check off. It says, 1, I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question. You will check that. If you have an interpreter, you will check this, and then you will put, in B, it will ask you if you have an interpreter, and then you'll put their information in part 6. And then the interpreter is asking you, did that interpreter read every question and instruction in their language and you understood everything? If you use a preparer, you put the information in part 7. So you put the preparer's name right there and move from that area. The applicant's contact information, this is where you put your information, your daytime phone number, your mobile phone number, and your email. You'll go down here. You will sign in ink and then date. If you need to get other documents together, you should not put the date in until probably the day before you're getting ready to send off the information. Part 6, you put the interpreter's last name, the given name, the name of their business, the interpreter's mailing address, interpreter's contact information. And then the interpreter will swear that they're fluent in English and whatever language that other language that you and they speak. So it could be Chinese, whatever. Interpreter will sign here and date there. If there's a preparer, someone that helps you, they'll put their information here, their mailing address there, and their contact information there. Preparer will need to check these boxes, swearing that they are telling you if they're an attorney or if they're not an attorney. Preparer signs there and date there. Part 8 is any additional information that needs clarity. So if you have additional names that's been changed, this is where you go. If there's any information that needs to be elaborated on, you'll put the page number that that information is from, the part number, the item number, and then you will give the additional information. So let's say you want to add in more information about the accommodations for your disability, and there's not enough space. So you will put part 4, 1B. So let's go right here. Oh, let's get the part. The page number is page 4. Page 4, part 4, item 1B. And then you just add additional information. So anything that needs to be explained, that's how you do it. The page number, part number, the item number, then you add the additional information, and you have 5 areas where you could do that in. So that's it for this form. I'll see you guys in the next one.